Base rate neglect. Hi, welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. My name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias. And the reason why I have this show is because the more we understand how our minds work, the better we can make decisions, the better relationships we can build, and also sometimes avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, let me ask you this. Have you ever gone and bought a lottery ticket thinking about the actual odds of winning? Or do you just go, you know what? I could actually win. There's a good chance of me winning. And then you go and buy that lottery ticket. Well, if you said, well, there's a good chance of me winning, that's most likely because you have base rate neglect. And what exactly is that? Well, it is if you were presented with the related base rate information, specific info, people generally tend to, ignore that information or that specific information in favor of a individual information, or rather than putting the two of them together. You tend to think about, well, that person won, and therefore, if that person won, there's a good chance that I will win. Or if that person made it to this level, there's a good chance that I will make it to this level. You kind of single-handedly pick one individual case and say, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. But you don't really look at the general kind of basis of what the probability is to actually make it. There's some people out there goes, you know what? There's a great chance that you can become a billionaire. Well, if you really look at it, compared to the amount of people all over the world, the chances of you actually making that status of becoming a billionaire is very, very small. But other people goes, you know what? If that person can do it, you can do it. And therefore, if you work really, really, really hard, you are able to do it. Well, it's not a good chance, but you have to put a lot of work. You have to put in a lot of effort. And it does take a lot of time to reach that status. And you sometimes have to look at that probability of if it's actually realistic. We're not talking about slashing dreams. We're not talking about giving up on dreams. We're just talking about how do we kind of take information and integrate the two so that our predictions, so that our expectations are kind of more realistic. We could always dream big and shoot for higher results and better expectations, but we should also kind of bring that down a little bit so that we're not reaching something that's completely impossible. So for instance, buying a lottery ticket. The actual chance of winning a lottery is like 1 in 292 million chances. So the thing is, it's not very likely that you win. But if you saw, well, if that person won and that person won, there's a good chance of me winning. Well, you have to temper those expectations because in reality, your chance of actually winning is very, very small. Same with becoming a professional athlete, making it to the NHL, making it to the NBA, or making it to the Olympics. If you see people who actually make it and you go, you know what, that's inspirational, that's motivating, I'm going to try and work my heart out to get to that level. But if you really look at the grand scheme of things, the percentage of people who actually make it to those levels are actually very, very small because these people are elite. They have put in a lot of effort. They have put in a lot of time and a lot of training, hours and hours and hours of training. Are you able to do that? And if you are, great. Use that as motivation, use that as inspiration. But sometimes you have to take a step back and go, am I putting too much effort, too much time for something that's actually not reachable? And a lot of people tend to do that and go, they may have wasted a lot of time. They may have wasted a lot of effort. And there's really no chance for them to get to that spot. And people are still giving them the false hope, or they still have this false hope of that base rate neglect. So that is what is base rate neglect. Sometimes we just have to take a step back to kind of reanalyze the situation to see if what we're doing is realistic or is it actually a complete pipe dream. You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your effort, but you also don't want to give up on your dreams. So you need to figure out a way to balance the two, integrate the information so that it's more realistic for you to actually achieve. That is base rate neglect. And if you enjoyed this episode, please go back to watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking the Mind. And if you like this show, we have a lot of other shows, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Master Mind Bites, and of course, the Make More Mind Bites that's up every single week. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. Thank you for your subscriptions, your likes, your comments. I love seeing those comments, and I'll see you later.